Howdy. Happy Friday. Okay, so I got totally distracted. I was feeling the Starseed Oracle deck like from before that I even started. Then anyway, I got to reading the book. Jinx there. And then I had the cards because there's like an attunement at the beginning of the book to like just get the cards into your energy centered in your purpose. And it's an awesome idea to attune your decks to your own energy and just take that time. um, Anyways, so I had them on my heart because I was doing the thing, and then I turned the page and one fell down, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's obviously going to be a part of it. And then what's really cool about this deck, that I really like, is there are different ways that you use. See how this is the bottom half of the box, and then the top half is that, and it comes down on top, but we can use that for part of reading the deck. So one card already popped out. Um, and then I was like starting to shuffle, and I was like, hit record, record. Like, you, this is for all of us. This one's for all of us. So it's pretty cool. I don't know who's familiar with star seeds. So interesting out there in the spiritual world. And as you like learn more information about life and just things that were going on in different um, and magical ways, actually, really, because um, if you think of like Atlantis and Lemuria and these ancient civilizations that really functioned very differently, and crystal healing and Eastern modalities of healing, ancient modalities of healing, and people incarnating who are from these different sort of categories of light workers. Um, Coming in to do our work, to like, let's keep it going, people. We all got to get it together. We're in it together, y'all. Anyway, of course, Spirit had its own idea, and they're like, that's actually not what's happening. And that's okay, but the box is super cool. The imagery is lovely on the cards, so I totally recommend them. Um, Ooh, Lord. We got some info for us today. So I'm still learning this deck, which is always fun. I like doing that. Because when you really get familiar with your cards, um, for my non-card people out there, it's very you see it and you immediately get it and understand what the intention is and what's going on. And it's great because the reason why we do this is to have that divine guidance. So it's awesome. Okay, all paths lead home. Don't do it to yourself there, little Colton. Um, I'm obsessed with this image. If you have an opportunity to walk a labyrinth, I couldn't recommend it more. And I encourage you to find one in your area and just walk the labyrinth to the center and do some reflecting and then come back out of the labyrinth. It's life changing. Okay. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. It's normal to look to the external world for answers and guidance. What's revolutionary is turning your gaze inward. You're being called to source your guidance from within, to study the terrain of your inner landscape, to develop a reliable relationship with your soul. The more time you spend connecting with your soul, the deeper the connection will become. This is like healing my chakras today. I don't know about you. The challenge for empaths is staying connected without cutting off from the world. Tell me about it. And I'm a Cancer, so I'm like Hermit McGee. The best way to do this is to develop a daily practice that helps you to keep checking in, to draw on the wisdom within and let that be the authority in your life. If this card appears, you may be called to develop or switch up your spiritual practice. Cool. To get in the habit of turning your gaze within, get centered for the day before consuming anything from the outside world. I like that. To start from a feeling of at homeness and throughout the day to find simple ways to keep coming home, right? It's like getting back in tune with your own energy, and being grounded in that, so that regardless of what's happening around you, you're in touch with yourself. So it doesn't matter if like X, Y, and Z energy is circling around us. We get that that's not our energy, and so we can actually, like, and I tell my clients all the time, talk to the energy like it's a young child that you are just needing to kind of direct to do something, right? um no, I'm pushing you out, you can't come in my energy. Just be very, very direct. And I also say that when people have energies that they struggle with in their home, you can do different things that help cleanse the energy. But then also, when you're feeling that like unsettling or uncomfortable feeling, where maybe it's like a lower vibrating type of energy and it can feel scary, that you really, again, it becomes like, you need to go, leave whatever, like just direct them out. No, you can't. No, you don't. Okay. It works. It really, really, really works. So if, yep. Keep coming home. Sorry, I'll go off over there, but it all comes back to home. Hey. This doesn't mean switching off from the realities of today's world. We need as many conscious people as possible living with their eyes wide open. Exactly. Rather, it's a call to start your day from a place of connectedness. I love that. Grace and devotion. So when you go out into the world and when you let the world in, you do it from an unshakable state of being. Exactly. Oh, I just said that. Extra confirmation. And I love this for myself too, because you know, I'm still like, I'm a work in progress still. So all of the things that I help other people do, I'm doing myself. I'm enacting and living all of this myself. So I really do get the process. And it's such a great reminder to, like, when you get up, before check your phone or whatever, check your phone, like, just just don't, and create something different for yourself for a small period of time in the morning. Really just take in your own essence, and it's a great time to just give yourself love, right? Because even if you're like, that's uncomfortable or I don't do that, it's like, oh well, say it to yourself anyway. That's how you're gonna move through feeling uncomfortable, is by continuing even when you feel uncomfortable. And you can totally do it. Okay. A state where you draw your, yeah, I read it all. Great. It says, how are you being called to turn your gaze within? Beautiful. I also lead a Reiki labyrinth walk here where I live. And so for people who are local to myself, and if that's something that you're interested in, I would like love to guide you through the labyrinth. It's, like I said, it's really life changing. Okay, our next card. On the Muppet thing. Okay, Earth School. Am I the only one who wants to sing Earth Angel? But then, like, say Earth School, Earth School. Okay. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. This is, I just need to fan my energy here. Take my energy. Not take it. Hang on. Let me rephrase that. I'm gonna put my fairy dust energy out there for y'all to receive some sparkle, because this is a wicked card. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. Oh, my show unpaused. Anyways, these aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them. This is how you know I'm a mom and I've worked in front of people forever and a day where you just have to like navigate real life. Any hooser. Let's keep going. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Remembering that Earth is a planet of polarity helps with this understanding. Each year, the study deepens more and more. Oh, and also, these aren't one time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. In the first card, um, a labyrinth, yes, it's a circle, but if you look at it, there's very much a spiral, and spiral is like huge in terms of like existence, life, healing, everything. So I love that. And that's why it's so important when things keep reoccurring in our lives and we're like, hey, what the hell? That's the spiral. That's that place in the spiral going like, hey, this is a growth opportunity for you. So you need to kind of deal with something. You need to take something on and really just work with it so that when we come back around to this and something triggers um, what was an aspect of the challenge for you, you're able to navigate through that and understand that and not repeat the same thing. It's growth. That's healing. So it means really working through to release some of that stuff because if we don't, we really just keep doing the same things over and over again. And that's being stuck in the cycle. So it's super important to take note of when when life doesn't seem to be getting better. Um, and we keep doing that same thing over and over again. And I keep saying it over and over again. So each year, the study deepens more and more. If you pull this card while you're going through a difficult time, you're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and learn. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. You know we will. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. And it's funny because we really can feel our growth. Like I'm currently navigating through a healing pattern that I'm actively working on healing. And as I navigate the reality, even this morning when I was driving to my appointment, I was like, wow, man, like 2 years ago, even last year, to if I was navigating in this situation, I would have been like way more anxious, way more frazzled, way more fear-based. And I'm not there anymore. And I'm so thankful. So it's like the work really does work. Um, and this card is reaffirming like this is why we're here. um the whole point is to evolve from the lesson, take the soul growth, and then release it, because that means that not only are we healing ourselves and others who were like attached to those moments in time in our life, but we also get to, when we exit the earth plane to whatever, and like so many different ideas of what that could be. However, um, we will reincarnate and come back, and guess what? We got that lesson. Like my whole life theory is like, listen, whatever lesson I can learn in this life, can please, I'm down. Like, let's get it going, okay? Let's heal as much as possible. Um, Meanwhile, I'm like, but I'm a Cancer, so I kind of like it. But anyway, I love it. We're being called to embark on this new area of study or growth. This could be through structured learning, such as university, school, or a training course. If you're having difficulties in a relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. My bad, you're like, oh, where is it? Um, After all, relationships are known as the number one way that we grow as souls while we're here on earth. Lord, ain't that the truth? How are you being called to grow or learn? Because you are. So it's like, answer the call. What are you being told to do? Do you think you should go to yoga? Go do it. Do you think you need a Reiki treatment? Take one or get one. Do you want to learn how to do reflexology? Go do that. Like, what are you feeling called to do? Because it's for a reason, even when it seems totally off a straight and narrow path, which is like, well, we're already not those type of people anyway. So why would it be surprising that anything we would feel called to do would totally not be like in that vein of, I don't know, like attitude, belief, life, finding purpose and meaning. Like we're just not those kind of people. And that's okay. We're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be who we are. And someone's got to break the rules, you know what I mean, to let's restructure life. Okay. Anyways, Earth, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. The challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world, but not of it. I'm already like, you guys will. Like, I just love how they almost like energetically speaking, like I can feel my chakras imploding in a way that's like actually like a breakdown of a wall. Like I'm like, the Berlin Wall went down. Like energetically speaking, that's how it feels. And if you've had a Reiki treatment, especially if you're one of my clients, that you already know what I'm talking about, and it just excites me. So definitely be mindful of like how you're feeling and thinking. And sometimes when we're having like anxiety is a great experience of like, okay, what's going on. We need to sort of breathe through and ground this anxiety and then let that energy go. And trust me, if you have anxiety, you definitely need Reiki because it's the most wonderfully soothing ointment for that anxiety energy. And I have anxiety and I totally can relate. Obviously it's like my own experience of living. I don't know what everyone feels in terms of how they experience anxiety, but in terms of Reiki as a healing agent in that, it definitely, you will be so thankful that you did. So the challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world but not of it. Why don't I just show you the back of the card, guys? Isn't that nice? Did you want to look at that? That's really cool. Okay. To realize they are souls having a human experience and be fully conscious of it. To have their soul fully embody their body. People's personalities tend to relate to either transcendence or immanence. To those who lean toward transcendence have a longing for the heavens and the metaphysical. They yearn for a personal experience with God and to be lost in the heavens. They're envious of the angels and are more comfortable praying and hanging out in the stars than on earth. Those who tend toward immanence have attached themselves more to earth and their body. They spend more time thinking about things in the physical world rather than connecting with the heavens or their own mystical inner worlds. Being a fully embodied soul, having a human experience means finding the balance between transcendence and immanence, being in the world but not of it. Most starseeds are drawn toward transcendence. They're more comfortable with the angels and the heavens. Life on earth can be more difficult for them. If this is you, you're being reminded that you chose to be a body, to be a soul in a body on earth, and you're being called to focus more of your energies in the physical world. To learn how to be human, a soul in a human body, fully present on what life and earth has to offer you. Do you tend to long for the stars or be more in the physical? How can you find greater balance between the two? That really is the question. And the true answer is it's really just a journey, and it's about connecting with like-minded people, and also remembering that we're still living on earth, and there are still realities that are around us that are a part of our lives. Like, it's great to be like, I don't care about money. I don't give a fuck about money. But I like to pay my bills. Like, that feels nice. Because we live in a society where we get charged bills, and like, they're just our realities where it's like it's okay to earn money, and to that's not what's the bad thing. It's like, how are you when you have or don't have those things? What are we doing with our blessings? How are we taking care of other people with our blessings? um there's so much to it. So, and that's just one example, really. I mean, you might feel a different thing, but it's the same concept, right? Like, we're here to navigate what it really is. So have your few people, and try to do your work every day to have the life that you want to have. Okay. Empathic starseed. Empathic starseeds are here to shift the world through their physical presence alone. They don't need to do anything beyond being here, thanks to the energetic change their physical presence causes. Ooh. Due to their highly sensitive nature, empathic starseeds can struggle with being on Earth. Did we not just talk about this? And in a physical body. Trust me, I totally get it. Like, I'm like, why am I not just floating around everywhere? Like, what's going on? What do you mean I'm not in a cloud? Like, that's totally ridiculous. Um, you know, I can morph somewhere in 2 seconds. Hello. Like, I totally trust. I so get it. We're here. We came here for a reason, to have this experience. My God, somewhere in my energy is like, ah. Oh, it's my moon in Leo. Okay. Many are prone to addiction and depression, or tend to mistake other people's feelings and moods for their own. Yep, yep, yep. And yeah. And that's earlier when I was talking about really being in touch with your own energy. The more you can be aware of this fact that you pick up and you shift in terms of other people's energy, it's like, if your mood shifts, I have to ask, I ask myself this sometimes, and more often earlier in my journey of doing it, because the more we do something, like, our brain is literally hardwired to do the most quick route, lazy choice. And it's based out of survival. So it's always something busy, because we're not like in the caveman era anymore. So instead of like something that actually makes sense, it does this like bizarro survival thing of like ancient times. And it's like, anywho. So um when you're shifting, ask yourself, okay, is this mine? Like, is something internally going on with me? If the answer is no, you're like, no, like, I was feeling pretty good, then it's like, okay, who were you around? And it could be something as subtle as the person at the Tim Hortons who handed you your coffee. Like, it doesn't even mean that it's someone in your circle, but it certainly could be. And that's the other thing too. It's like, really, it's always important to evaluate how you're feeling in all of your relationships, because if you're not getting something you're needing in terms of like a reciprocity, of I guess relationship, regardless of friendship or whatever the dynamic is, that reciprocity, um you know what do you need to do? What boundaries can you set? Many are, yep, natural introverts. They tend to prefer spending time alone or in small groups. Crowds can be overwhelming for them. If this card appears, consider lightening the load energetically. Get a Reiki treatment. Don't put yourself under such pressure to go out into the world. Be gentle with yourself. Allow extra time and care to recover energetically. That is a true story, especially as you get more in tune with your own feelings and energy. It really is important that you take care of it. And I really do recommend getting Reiki treatments consistently. It will, it's healing and it helps and it really supports this journey. We have to release the energy that no longer needs to be there. If you're feeling pressure to keep up a certain pace, instead put on the brakes and treat yourself like a precious baby. Do whatever you can to take the pressures of the world off your plate. Switch off to switch back on. In today's world, it's normal to feel that we should be doing more, but perhaps being present in our own life is enough. This could be a phase you're going through or simply how you're being called to live your life. If your work involves giving to others, right now you're being called to keep something for yourself, Carolyn. You don't need to transmute it all. It's okay to look after your own growth and healing before feeling you should offer it to the world. Instead, it's necessary if you want to continue to do so substantially. How can you take better care of yourself energetically? I love it. So that's cool. I feel like there's some work for all of us to do, and I'm definitely like, okay, how can I support myself energetically over the weekend? As someone who's a giver, and I'm sure you are too, wanting to be available to help, but also remembering that we have to help ourselves first. And I say it all the time to clients, and I love getting the reminders that I get from the cards. We have to take care of ourselves. Like, we are the most important people in our lives, because if we aren't taking care of ourselves, then all of the people we help take care of are losing um like a very important person in their lives in terms of someone who really helps them. So, like on the airplane, we have to put the air masks on ourselves first, and then we can help other people. And when we're naturally like loving, giving, wonderful people, it makes total sense that we want to do that. And it can feel awkward to not. And usually that stems from our family of origin. For those of us who are these kinds of people, it's because the families we grew up in, um, we were caretakers, and we were highly sensitive, and we were the peacemakers. Sometimes we were the ones who shook things up a little bit too. But the theme of really, you know, taking care of people and helping people um, begins from a young age. So there's always something cool to look at in our healing and understanding our current reality, because we can trace it back to understand, which helps us unpack the dysfunction, or the trigger, and just sort of like, that's why I love Reiki, because it releases all of that. It's like all of the hard work you're doing for your own self-care, your growth, all of that. The Reiki just cleanses all of that kind of excess gunk, and it really allows for all of the work you've been doing to blossom in even fuller ways. So it's awesome. Okay, I went off on like a whole talk, but I just really felt called to chat about that. I hope you have a great day. I hope that you take care of yourself a little bit today, tomorrow, Monday. Go get an oracle deck, give it a shuffle. It's really wonderful guidance. So have a lovely day, friends. I will talk to you soon.